We spent hours on the intro just so we could get a couple of button presses from you. Subscribe, bell icon. Maybe even the thumbs up button, but yeah. If you're here to see how the device actually performs, you can do all that at the end of the video. At 19,999 rupees, the Realme X7, sorry, this is the X7 Pro. Get me the X7. At 19,999 rupees, the Realme X7 is currently the cheapest 5G phone in India, something that will keep changing throughout 2021. And I'm here to share my first 24 to 48 hour experience with the phone. You know, the things that surprised me, the things that disappointed me, that's what you will experience virtually through this new series of videos called Not an Unboxing. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we begin, a huge shout out to our sponsor Glazed Ink. Glazed Ink makes amazingly durable tempered glasses for a lot of phones, including the OnePlus Nord, Poco X3 and so on. What's special about Glazed Ink is, apart from a full glue edge-to-edge glass, they also provide a real curved tempered glass with actual 2.5D glass near the edges, which essentially eliminates the awkward gap on the sides, which you generally get from installing most other tempered glasses in the market. So do check out Glazed Ink, link in the description. Subscribers can use the promo code TJOC to get 10% discount. I have slightly mixed feelings about the overall design. The back panel looks really good. Even though it's plastic, it's very firm and rigid. Plus the silver color makes it feel like metal. It oozes class, but it kind of fades away when you look at the camera module, which is ugly. First, there is a camera module bump, and then there is a separate camera lens bump. Not a big deal though. The X7 feels really good in hand. The sides are curved nicely, and the most important thing is it's really thin and light, just 176 grams and 8.1 millimeters thin. How rare is it these days? Part of the reason is the relatively small battery with a capacity of 4300 mAh. Cannot comment much about battery life without using it for at least a week, but if I have to say something about it, well, so far in my limited usage period, I did not notice any abnormal battery drain or anything. And if Realme's track record is anything to go by, we can expect one full day of medium to heavy usage. What I can say for sure is that the X7 can go from 0% to 100% charge in just about 45 minutes using the 50 watt super dart charging technology, and the charger is included in the box. Now, the interesting part is that the charger in the box is actually a 65 watt power adapter. And I'm sure the phone is also capable of handling 65 watt charging. Realme has deliberately limited the charge intake to 50 watts on the software side. Okay, I understand Realme wants to differentiate the X7 and X7 Pro with some important factors, given that these two phones are priced 10,000 rupees apart. The X7 Pro is 30k. But even the 15,000 rupee Narzo 20 Pro supports 65 watts charging. So why skip it for the X7? Anyway, 45 minutes for a full charge is absolutely not bad at all. It's still very, very fast, faster than most of the competition out there. So if the battery life doesn't turn out very impressive, fast charging will most likely save you from having a bad experience. I mean, the battery life will probably be decent enough, but do keep in mind the X7 has a brand new chip, MediaTek's Dimensity 800U, so the efficiency may differ from what we've seen in other Realme phones. It's a 7 nanometer chip only, so there shouldn't be any big issue, but still. As for the performance, so far things seem pretty smooth. I played a deathmatch on Call of Duty and the gameplay was perfectly fine. No abnormal frame drops or anything. Genshin Impact lagged a lot initially, but after a few minutes I noticed some improvement. However, Genshin Impact is actually very heavy. It's like 8-9 GB. Even some flagship phones struggle to run it very smoothly. Anyway, be it for gaming or watching movies or even just simply browsing, the display is really good. It's fantastic. It's a full HD Super AMOLED display. The refresh rate is just 60 Hz, but the touch sampling rate goes up to 180 Hz, which improves your gaming experience. I also watched some Netflix and no issues there. Thankfully, it's Wideband L1 certified and I was able to stream content at full HD resolution on those streaming apps. The loudspeaker is fine for the most part, but I do wish it had dual stereo speakers. I mean, Dual stereo speakers are making their way to budget phones like the Redmi 9 Power Poco M3, so why not on this? Anyway, the audio quality itself is good, and while we are talking about audio, I'd also like to tell you that the X7 supports high-res audio. But if you already have a pair of high-res wired earphones, I'm sorry, you cannot use them because this doesn't have a headphone jack. I think there's a 3.5mm to Type-C adapter in the box. Anyway, the use of AMOLED also means Realme could install in-display fingerprint scanner, and they did. It's comfortable, it's quite fast and accurate, just like we've seen on other Realme phones with in-display scanners. To protect this beautiful display, we have Gorilla Glass. Realme did not mention the version as usual, so it's safe to assume that it's not the safest version. Probably Gorilla Glass 3 or 3 Plus. So certain small things like this are slightly disappointing. No headphone jack, no dual speakers, no 65 watts charging, even though there is a 65 watt charger included in the box. No hybrid slot. But yeah, on the other hand, we have 5G support. So if you're looking to use the phone for more than a couple of years, it should come in handy. There's been some development on that front recently. Airtel just demonstrated their 5G service in Hyderabad recently. So I would say 5G should be accessible to most of us in another year or so. Realme has implemented some sort of 5G network optimization technology, which I really appreciate. 5G is not even here yet, but they've done something solid. So basically 5G is expected to be a battery hogger. So this network optimization tech reduces the power consumption by about 30% according to Realme. Of course, I didn't test it yet. But yeah, Realme UI has a bunch of these battery optimizations, even for other things, not just 5G. The only mild disappointment is it's based on Android 10. Not Android 11. It's expected to arrive soon, maybe in another 2 to 3 months on the X7. Anyway, for what it's worth, the current version of Realme UI does offer a lot of nice features like gestures, app cloner. App cloner includes apps like Swiggy as well. There's also an extensive digital well-being panel, which is somewhat the need of the hour, if you ask me. Plus, you don't see a lot of ads or annoying notifications. It's been a couple of days, I don't remember seeing any unwanted notification. The UI feels very light, it's super fast and snappy, so that's icing on the cake. So that leaves us with one final thing to talk about: cameras. Before showing the pictures, let me share my opinion about the X7 Pro. At 30,000 rupees, it's a good phone, but definitely not a game-changing phone or anything. But at 20K, the Realme X7 gets the same set of cameras, which is great. A 64 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a couple of 2 megapixel cameras you will probably never use. The X7 also clicks 16 megapixel selfies, by the way. We went for a photo walk yesterday and clicked a lot of pictures, so my initial impressions, the results seem quite good. Great dynamic range and detail levels. However, there is a bit of oversaturation here and there, like the greens in this image, the oranges in this one. Actually, when I clicked the same image using another mode, the colors were fine. Look at the difference. And the 2 megapixel macro camera clicks terrible images as expected. But overall, I think this should be a good camera phone. The night mode has some cool features, even filters are quite good. By the way, there is currently no option to shoot videos using the ultra-wide camera, which I think is a bug. So expect some of these minor things to be fixed via a future update very soon. So to conclude, you guys probably know all the pricing details by now. The 6GB RAM variant costs 19,999 rupees and the 8GB RAM variant costs 21,999 rupees. The pricing seems good, but I want to hold my judgment until I use it for a few weeks at least until I finish my camera comparison and my speed test videos. I've shared all my initial impressions with you. You know the price now. So what do you think? If you want us to make comparison videos, then please let us know which phone you want to compare this against, M51 or Mi 10i or both. Do you want to see a camera comparison or a speed test or both? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, Ashwin Sundar here from Technology Jock, leaving for the moment. Bye and take care.